Hey guys, my name is Iberi and it's time for another Kicking of the Week. And today I'm going to be doing a producer's challenge. I'm going to be trying to make an entire kick out of a random sample. So we're going to be using Google's random number generator for that. So what I want to do today is I'm going to make a punch out of a random sample and I'm going to be using Google's random number generator for that. Over here I have my Vengeance sample packs and let's just see which one I have to choose. So 1 till 4 because I have 4 sample banks. Okay, so we're going to be working with the second. Opening up this second Vengeance bank. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 folders in here. So I'm going to do another one, 1 to 10. The 6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is really the worst one. Okay, and now how many samples do we have in here? So we have 209 samples in here, and let's just see which one I have to turn into a punch somehow. So 209, 103. So let me put my headphones on and check this one out. Oh fuck. Okay, well, let's see how we're gonna make a punch out of this. So I'm gonna be manipulating the sample, probably switching it around so we hopefully get some transient. And yeah, let's just see how we can make a punch out of this. So we're gonna reverse this in hope that it will somewhat give me a punch. Okay, well, I think we can actually do something with this. Let's just cut it a bit short. And maybe we're gonna use something like this, like an automation on the pitch to create a nice pitch envelope in here. And let me get to none. And maybe if we want to cut off this volume a little bit, we can do it with this automation. And well, let's just put it in the mixer channel and see how we can kind of get it to sound aggressive with some EQ and some distortion. I think I'm gonna go all out with the distortion and just open up distortion all the way. I think we can get somewhere. Let's see what happens when you push this bass a little bit. Let's shape it a little bit more after the distortion. And maybe work a little bit on this automation clip. Because I think when we take it away, yeah, the entire punch is just gone. Maybe we can make it spike up a little bit higher. And we're gonna cut off that bleepy end because that just annoys me. And I want to make sure that it's a nice sounding punch. So this way I can really focus on the first part without hearing that distortion till. And I think the most of the work is going to be done in this first EQ, to be honest. So we can really hear this is going for a raw punch, but it sounds nice. So let's just make this one unique and put it to a new mixer track. And let's see how we can make a till out of this. It needs to be down low again. Maybe we can make it a little more stable like this. Maybe something like this. And let's put a punch in front of it. I think we can actually make this work. So let's start this one off low. And make it come up after the punch is gone. And yeah, let's just distort it. Let's put an EQ in front of it and then put a distortion on there. Let's see, maybe go for disto effects. And now if we can maybe distort it a little bit further. Let's shape it a little bit more before the first distortion. So what I'm doing actually right now to just explain a little bit, because I like the sounds that we have, but I'm just looking for a way to make it move a little bit more and get it to sound like a normal kick instead of just a distorted bass layer. So I'm gonna be maybe moving this dip around a little bit and see how that just shapes our movement of the kick, like I explained in my video of last week. I actually like this, so I'm going to be using shade, and maybe I'm going to put that somewhere in between and make a little bit of the parameters move, maybe use a flanger, something like that, to or a phaser, I don't know, just to shape it a little bit more and see if we can get some nice movement. And we sure can get some nice movement out of this. I think I want a little bit of movement over there. So let's put that on the frequency and just make it a little bit tiny because I was moving it in a small space as well. And let's maybe move the shape around a little bit and the phasing. Make it smaller. Now, when I'm making this movement, I think it's smart to just keep the kick in the loop and really hear if that movement doesn't affect the loopability of the kick. So maybe moving around the filters a little bit will create a smoother transition from the till to the punch again. As you can hear right now, it's just playing around a little bit too much, and it's just making the transition from the till to the punch a little bit less clear. So by looping the kick, you can really hear if this filter isn't creating movement in the wrong way for the kick. So I like the punch and the till that we just created, but let's just sample them and get them a little bit more balanced and get a nice and finished kick out of this. So here we have our punch and till, and let's just balance them, put a little bit of a volume automation on there. To just get them in the right spot and get them to really work together. Because I think this beginning over here just sounds a little bit too nasty probably. So we're gonna move this away or maybe move it a little bit to the side. Let's just see. Like this, the kick is still looping nice, but it gives us room to just cut off this. Because the punch is gonna be playing over here. And we can cut that one off. So it's just transitioning a little bit nicer from the punch into the till. Let's just put them both on a mixer channel. Turn them down a tiny bit. Now let's give our punch a little bit more body. And I'm going to be using kick 2 for that. Doesn't matter in which note we put it. Let's mute the click. And let's just create a nice sub layer for our punch. And mute the till. And let's get this sub after the punch gone, cut that off. Okay, and let's put this in the mixer channel and maybe move it a little bit more quiet. Like this. And let's distort that a little bit. And now I feel this sounds nice for our punch. And let's see what we still have to do with the tail. We need to cut the kick 2 off, because otherwise it's gonna be playing through the base of our tail. So like this. Maybe we can add an extra point over here. It's working, but we still need a reverb over here to really get a gated kick out of here. So let's put some reverb on a punch. I think I'll be using this part. So let's see, we can maybe put all of these down and balance this kick out a little bit. And then we're gonna move all this to one mixer channel. So we're gonna have our final boss over here. Let's put the reverb to the right volume first. And I think on our punch we can use a little bit more resonance over here before the distortion, so it has a little bit less sharp high end. So I've been making this extra layer, but I don't want to use it in the end. It just doesn't work well, and that's why I don't show it in the video. So let's just try one more thing to maybe get a little bit more extra body in this kick. And that is layering our reverb and our tail together. And then distorting it. Maybe just create some extra depth. It does really help. So let's just tweak this a little bit, and then we're gonna have this kick finished. So after tweaking it, we got this. And that sounds really nice and full, But now we need to add an extra clean reverb on here to just give it a little bit more space again. So let's take our punch, put some reverb through it, and export that again. And this way we're gonna create some more space in the back for the kick. So it's gonna be sounding even more huge. I'm gonna make this move, and this time we're not gonna distort the reverb. So this is going to be our clean reverb layer in between the distorted one over here. Let's put this one in the mixer channel. Let's send these all to this one, so we get our final mixer channel over here. And let's balance this final bit out over here. See how this looks. Well, there's nothing wrong with the transition over here. But then we can put a reverb in there. Maybe put a little bit of an EQ over here. We're gonna do this only on the tail because I feel it needs a little bit more of that crunch. Maybe a little bit of distortion. And then we're gonna limit this, and then this kick is done. So after limiting, this is what it sounds like. I know it might not be a perfect kick, there might be some problems in the punch, but I actually do like it, and for such a random producer challenge, I think it's a win. I hope you like this and you learned something from this, and hopefully I'll see you back soon again. Cheers!